just this week, I think I told somebody, someday I think I'm going to count how many times I hear Miss Ellis in a day. Or even just in like a 3-hour span. And it would be something ridiculous, I'm sure.
Yo, ready? And it's like you have these guys that people would perceive as hard or edgy or like hard to communicate or adapt with, but you get through to them, and it's like, and they all respect you, and then
Seem to.
but then you got your daughter who has 90,000 brothers.
Yeah.
Who, like, guys, don't touch her. Don't mess with her because
and
it's not gonna work out.
They're like,
you got brothers from years.
Yes.
Who's watched her.
And you know, we're at a football game, and I'm pretty sure it was I want to say it was in Iowa, like maybe Ellsworth or something. Towards the end of the game, so the starters probably aren't in, not, it's end of the fourth quarter, all close to it or whatever, and the concession people are coming around selling what they have left for cheap,
Gotcha, yeah.
So I think they had a hamburger or something, and Avery wanted a hamburger, so we bought it for $1 or whatever, and one of the football players on the sideline sees it happening and turns around and he says, "If she gets sick from that, I'm going to take care of you." Like, dude, it's not that serious, but thank you. But I mean, that's just a good example of the way that they look at her too. Like they see her as little sister.
Yeah.
They call her Little Ellis, Little E. Like, she's, she always has a favorite.
Really?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last football season, we went to a game at Arkansas so she could see her favorite from the year before.
Arkansas.
That was Danny Saili.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got to go see him play. He was her favorite for a year and a half. The thing that sucks about it is that they're here for a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and then they're gone. So, and it's even. I mean, she gets attached too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her current favorite big brother is getting ready to leave in a couple weeks, so that might be a little bit difficult because we are at the end of the semester.
Yeah, end of the semester.
Yeah, but they're very protective of her, and I mean, I've heard things said that they would take care of for me too if I needed it. So, like one day I had a broken blood vessel in my eye. Who knows why I woke up like that? Miss Ellis, do we need to take care of something for you? I think I'm good. I didn't have it when I went to bed. I woke up like.
So is there something stopping you from taking that B1?
Well, there's a couple things. One, this kind of position doesn't necessarily, I mean, it exists, advising exists at D1, but not really the same
capacity,
the way that it happens here.
Gotcha.
It's very different. And as far as I can tell, the money is the same.
Gotcha.
I mean, I need to make more money if I'm going to move somewhere,
Yeah.
The biggest thing though is I kind of think after being in this job for this long, that this was a job that I was meant to do.
Yeah.
That the kind of guidance and care and help that the athletes that I come in contact with need, I do that well. Just and I know that I do it well just because of how many have gone on and been successful, and that I hear back from them and that kind of thing. So when they go, I get a lot of phone calls after they're gone. Miss Ellis, my advisor isn't like you. Or I mean, I get phone calls like, hey, can you call and talk to my advisor?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they're not going to like that. I'm not going to do that. Well, I think one time I sent an email because the guy was like, he was just adamant that I get in contact with his advisor. I didn't hear back from her.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she said something to him about.
Yeah. They take it as disrespect.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would feel the same, I think.
Yeah. So you still, because you had Big Lou come back at Marquavius?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he came by, stopped by and saw me.
I went to, a funny story. I went to practice, my daughter's track practice, and there was two older guys walking, and they were talking about the track, and they knew some of the coaches I think he works at the Heights. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, he's a big guy. I was like, you know he was like a legend, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, what? Like, they had no idea. I said, are you serious?
Yeah.
They was like, no. I was like, look him up. Like, he's
Like
he.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Like
If he
South
goes
Carolina.
if he goes to any other team in the NFL who puts him in the right position, like, he's still playing right now. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
he's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it when the guys come back and I get to see them. It's not very often, but.
I talked to Lee Spike today, and he said to tell you.
Oh.
He's having a son. Another son.
Another one?
Yeah.
I love seeing the success he's having.
Yeah.
Like, it's so great. Social media is so great for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I get to see what everybody's doing and when they have babies and when they're getting married. And it's crazy that I've been doing this long enough to see those things.
Yeah. I don't think nobody, the guys, they know who Rod Wave is, I'm sure. Lee is signed to Rod Wave. So everybody go check out Illmatic. He's signed to Rod Wave. But yeah, he said to say what's up. He's back in Kansas City now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see him be successful in that way.
Yeah.
Because there's been some guys that have done other things besides football that they're really successful with. So
yeah,
it's kind of like seeing Tyrus. Were you there with Tyrus? Yeah. Tyrus doing the bodyguard and security, and he was on Jersey Shore, and like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Jersey Shore.
Really?
I think it was like when they were doing the family reunion show or whatever.
I'm gonna have to hit him.
They went to New Orleans, and he worked as security for them, and so he's in one of the episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It was pretty funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you meet a lot of. What's some of the coaches from the 4-year that really like was cool to work with? Can you?
I mean, I shouldn't even say obviously, but I like working with Cedric just because he was here, and you know,
that's home team.
Yeah. So it's good to work with him. And there's a lot of 4-year coaches that I talk with lot, and then they move around and they're like,
but they still know you.
They still know me.
It's
they call me.
It's so funny that they know, like, I need to.
They'll text
Some
me.
of them go to you first before they even,
Yes. Yeah, and that's one of the things I make sure that the guys know, the players know. Like, there are 4-year coaches who have said, if she tells me don't recruit him, I'm not recruiting him. They're like, oh, no, Miss Ellis. Luckily, I haven't had to say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure that the few that have said that
mean it.
I know Cedric means it.
Yeah.
No doubt. Like, it's. Brian Early said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says so. Georgia Southern now. He says he's loving it up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Up there, down, whatever.
Yeah, down there. Yeah. I get. I mean, probably every day I'm talking to 4-year coaches about somebody, and they don't just want to know about academics from me. They want to know like my relationship with the guy, with the students. I say the guys all the time.
Yeah.
They want to know what kind of person they are, how they were with me, if they got along with me or not. Yeah. I've been around long enough that they know if the relationship with me isn't good, it's probably not going to be great going on, just because of. I mean, it's like I get kids coming in all the time that say, "Oh, my friend came and he told me about you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here." Or I had somebody last week tell me I was thinking about leaving, but I didn't because of you.
Yeah.
Because not everywhere has this kind of a position.
I keep trying to people don't understand like with Hutch, it's a machine, but there's parts in it that make it go,
Yeah.
And I think you're one of the integral parts of it. And I don't know if enough people in the faculty know that, or the fan base, boosters, you do a lot, and it's not in your job description, and it's like you gotta do crowd control. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I was coaching, it's more than X's and O's, and you got X's and O's, and you got get your academics and get the class, but then there's because there's only, you win a national championship, right? That's 12 games.
Yeah.
That's 12 Saturdays. What about all them other Saturdays and those other Tuesdays and
the spring and the summer, and when it's hard to keep them focused because football isn't the main deal right now. Yeah. I mean, it's in the fall football is so busy, but it's easier to keep them focused because they have a purpose right now. Yeah. Spring and summer, the part of the spring before the spring season starts, spring whatever starts, it's kind of like, I'm just here floating around. For them, what am I doing? It's just school. They don't like just school. I don't want to lump everyone together, but
no, that's
the majority of the guys that are here came, at least on the football team, came to Hutch to play football, so they want to be playing football. So keeping them focused on academics during the down times of football, it's not easy, for sure. No. But we have a pretty good system with study hall and check-ins, and in the spring the coaches do extra study hall in the afternoons and grade checks, and to keep breakfast check and those kinds of things to keep everybody where they're supposed to be. So for the most part, there's not issues. It isn't easy, that's for sure.
Have you ever had a kid that transferred in, whether it was another JUCO or whether it was another a 4-year, and then come here and be surprised that you do so much?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, we have guys that transfer in all the time, and especially when they come from other JUCOs. Mm-hmm. We didn't have this. Why do we have to do why do we have breakfast check in the morning? Why do we have study hall? And why do we have, and they didn't have someone like me involved, I should say. So I know not every school has the same sort of setup, that we're kind of lucky that we have that, and we can keep a good focus on everything and keep it tight. So.
And I know I think I saw a couple posts even when I was here, but I don't think you guys get enough of the pub about the success of the academics of the athletics. Yeah. I mean, very successful winning games and stuff, but also very successful academically.
Yeah. Coach Dallas is really good about showing his appreciation for staff that aren't part of the, coaching staff and that kind of stuff. So people know, people know, but I don't know that everybody knows the amount of work that goes in on that side of it. Yeah. It's
because your lab is filled.
Yeah, it's very busy. Very busy.
Well, it's a good thing, because what would you rather, you'd rather them in there with you than
in their dorm sleeping, missing class.
Yeah.
So it's been both ways since I've been there. Because when I first started, I didn't do study hall with the football team. We did have, I think, evening tutoring. Yeah. And that was assigned just almost only English and math, and I wasn't part of that. Yeah. I think I made the lists of who was supposed to be there, but I wasn't in on the tutoring. And then just things have sort of changed over time and evolved to what it is now. And we have far less students on academic probation and being dismissed because they've been on probation twice or whatever. More students graduating and moving on to the 4-year schools every year, just because there's just more accountability for them.
Yeah.
They also, it's a place for them to come in between classes, so they're not going back to the dorm and going to sleep, or, that's what I would do when I was in college. I mean, every chance I got, I think I was going to sleep.
Staying up late.
And in between classes, running home and that kind of stuff. But I mean, you've been in my office. You see how busy it is. And it's the morning is study hall, but there's always some people there who just hanging out in between classes, or maybe they're watching their film or something because they don't have something to work on at that time. There's all kinds of stuff, but it's busy, and I'd much rather see that than not see anyone at all.
Yeah.
I have to spend a lot more time doing my work in the afternoons. Like I am jamming stuff in sometimes, because in the mornings I'm helping, making sure that a student understands where to find information to complete this assignment, or proofreading a paper, or, sometimes instructors send them to me for math tutoring, or, I didn't do as much math tutoring this semester, but last semester I was doing math tutoring a couple evenings a week, because we needed, some guys were struggling with algebra, and we were trying everything we could to get it done. 2
questions. What would you say to like a high school kid deciding where to go, and Hutch was on their list? Like, what is the difference going to Hutch, and why would you tell them to come to Hutch besides another school? And then also the second part to that question is, what would you say to the guys that are currently on the team, like they're going through spring? Like, what advice would you give them in order to have everything to get recruited to a 4-year? So
as far as the high school students coming to Hutch, I mean, obviously I'm going to say we're the best. And I think I'd say the same thing, no matter if you're choosing to come to Hutch or when you're ready to go on to a 4-year school, is make the choice that's right for you. Make the choice that you feel comfortable with. At Hutch, we have a lot of resources available to students, and I think that's what sets us apart from other schools. Not just me, but like our Student Success Center and the Counseling Center, and the Rimmer with the tutoring, and the math lab that's, people are there till 1 a.m. and that kind of stuff. I know that there's other JUCOs have tutoring and things like that. I don't know the extent of their programs. So that and our facilities are pretty great. I mean, we're pretty lucky.
The cafeteria is like...
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
That the athletic facility is just everything. The campus is
crazy.
So nice. It's our stadium it's nicer than some D2s that I've been to. Definitely nicer than some NAIAs.
No doubt.
Just the whole setup of the campus is great. And the community and everybody is very supportive.
Come to the games.
And really, everyone that works at the college is very supportive. Like, it's just a good atmosphere to be in. Now, your other question was when the guys are getting ready to leave, like they're in spring ball, or...
Like, what are they, like, some of them, and I'm saying this because guys have delusional thinking sometimes. And it's like, yes, they're going to come and talk to the receiver coach. They're going to talk to the running back coach. They're going to talk to the head coach. They're going to come talk to you. They may even come to the cafeteria and talk to the cafeteria workers to see what type of person, like, nobody's exempt from the background check, the unofficial background check.
Well, the first thing I tell them is their transcript is almost a bigger resume than their film.
Okay.
I mean, because without that transcript looking a certain way, the film doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't wiggle the transcript.
No, and what do you want a coach to see? Do you want them to see a bunch of semesters where you screwed up and then you finally got your act together, your last semester? Or would you like it to be that they can see from the beginning that you're not going to be an issue, an eligibility issue at all?
Yeah.
That you came in and you did what you're supposed to do, because it's as much that as it is. Because it's, people say that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And sure, some people put in a lot more effort on the football field because that's where they're comfortable and they're good. But if they want to continue to play football, they're going to put in that effort in the classroom as well. Because they can't have it without it if they're a non-qualifier, for sure. I mean, they can't ever make it to the NFL. Yeah. They have to go to school for at least 3 years. So I put a lot of emphasis on that. And of course, that's my job. I'm an academic advisor. But as far as them thinking, I mean, when coaches are coming and looking at them, and when the guys are thinking about their own abilities, and I'm going power, P4 or whatever, my advice to even the guys who have all those offers is make sure you choose somewhere where you're going to see the field, that you're going to see the field. Without film, you're never going to have an opportunity to go somewhere else. Don't choose a school because of its name. And we've seen it happen where a school, one of the players chooses a school because of the name, and they end up transferring, or they end up not getting the playing time they should have, and not having the film that they should have to move forward. And that's the part that's really hard to get through to the players, to the students.
You can't outsmart the game. It's going to be what it is. You have to put in the work. And
everybody wants the big name offers, but is that really where
that may not be where you need to go? You know, for your situation. Yeah.
But figuring out the good balance between being great on the field, and even if school isn't your thing, being close to great on the transcript. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have straight A's, but you got to have more A's and B's than you have C's and D's, or it's not gonna work out.
Before I ask my last question, Avery, you got any questions you want to ask?
No question.
You could put it on the spot right now. So,
do I like O-Dog? I love O-Dog.
Who's O-Dog?
My favorite.
That's your favorite?
That's her favorite guy.
O-Dog, you're the favorite for Avery.
I cried last year when
Danny left. You cried, yes.
Okay. Where's O-Dog from? Old or O?
O.
Okay.
Alabama. He just committed. I probably can't say. Never mind.
Well, no.
He told me, but I don't know if he's put it out. So.
Okay, let's wait, because we don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter.
I mean, this isn't coming out today, but yeah. I mean, he's very excited today because he was just on a visit and committed, and so we're happy for him today.
So you've been here. You've been working with the athletics since what year?
2013. I think I started April 2013, and I was officially athletic advisor in August or September of 2013.
So 2013 to 25, you work with a lot of athletes.
A lot.
Everybody wants to know, who's your favorite? Favorites. Putting you on the spot, we're going to cause some controversy.
Well, I mean, normally when I'm asked that question, I say I don't have favorites. But, I mean, I'm human, so of course I do.
Well, we're going to, Life and Times of Sub City, we're going to find out who's Miss Ellis' favorites.
So,
you said you do golf?
Yes, I do. I mean, yes, I've worked with golf. Those guys are, I mean, I have the most interaction on the golf team with the guys, the international students, and they are, for the most part, they're all really great and funny, and most of them are from, the UK or.
You gotta pick one.
I know. I'm gonna say Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a UK name.
Women's basketball, my favorite was Ty Kimbrough.
Ty Kimbrough. Where you're.
I'm not going to remember
Where's she
what year.
from?
Memphis.
Okay.
It's been a handful of years ago.
Okay. Men's basketball.
Men's basketball. Oh man, I don't know. JJ probably. JJ Rhymes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after saying that, I mean, there's a lot of that I like. Like, just because I say they're my favorite doesn't
JJ,
mean.
you want basketball?
Yeah.
Football, we're going to need at least 5.
At least 5 favorites. Well, somebody is going to be mad at me. I'm going to get some phone calls and text messages after this for sure. Because, I mean, in 12 seasons of football,
Yeah.
I have to choose 5. And we've had
No order, no particular order.
I know, I'm just saying, like,
If we go over,
I'm just
we're
saying
good.
that's over 1,000 football players.
It's really more than that because the turnover.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea how many football players that I've had, been involved with. But okay, 5 favorites, and I'm gonna go with. These are guys that I still talk to quite a bit.
Okay, no particular order.
No particular order. Monty Montgomery.
Monty Montgomery played at Louisville and Ole Miss.
Yes. Avery's trying to feed me. feed
No
me.
cheating,
Feed me
Avery.
names.
No cheating.
Dejan Jackson.
Dejan Jackson. Mm-hmm. That's 2.
Alvin.
Alvin's 3.
Yes.
Big up to Alvin.
Big up to Alvin. I mean, it's so hard.
You got 2 more at least.
I know. I just love everybody. Who? Trey? Okay, Trey.
Trey who?
Trey Brown.
I know that he's one of your favorites.
Yeah, we'll go with Trey Brown.
Trey Brown.
And Ashton Williams.
Ashton.
Or Ashton Jackson.
Ashton Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, either last name. Ashton Jackson.
Okay, that's fine.
But,
Any honorable mentions?
oh, like everyone else? You're asking me to name 5 favorites. That's
Give me.
so
This
difficult.
is real controversial.
I have had so many favorite people over the
This
years.
is real controversial. You have to promise to answer this. Give me current roster. Give me 1 offense and 1 defense.
Favorites?
Favorite.
Offense and defense. Oh my gosh. This is really going to cause some problems. Let's see. For defense, I'm going to say DeMarcus Johnson.
Okay, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Offense, I don't know. My favorite offensive player. I don't know. I mean, I love everyone.
You gotta pick one. One from this year.
Favorite from this year. I'll go with Derek Sally.
Sally. Okay. You could do it. Favorite year.
Favorite year?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say last season.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you
And
won.
not just because we won the championship.
Okay.
But that's hard because the year before that was really awesome too. Like, I love everybody from there. Like, you've really put me in a hole right here. I'm gonna have so many messages. I love my job.
Okay.
And I love everybody. I mean, if I really thought about it, there's probably less than 10 people in these 12 years or whatever that I just didn't
Really?
care for.
I had a rule,
What's that?
and it rang true. And I would say, I don't think I can use the word. There was always one, like, bad person
Yeah.
every year that just couldn't be tamed, couldn't be held.
Yeah.
Couldn't be.
And even though I have some guys that really frustrate me every year, sure, it isn't that I don't like them.
Is there anybody you just said,
throw them away?
I'm done.
Yeah, there's been a couple. Yeah, not many though. I mean, when I say it's really hard to name favorites, it's really hard to name favorites because I just love everybody so much. Like, and for different reasons. I mean, my relationship isn't the same with every one of them. But of course, there's some that I would have.
Yeah.
But as far as throwing somebody away, there's been a couple. Yeah. That it's just like, I mean, they just weren't good people in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
But you find that everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you think is what comes off? Why do you think they gravitate towards you?
I think
Because Monty's like a magnet.
Monty.
Yeah, he's your magnet.
Well, I'm like his
Yeah.
second mom.
And his
I mean, even his mom says I'm his
She
second.
called me like a little while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and not this past Thanksgiving, but 2 Thanksgivings ago, Avery and I went and spent Thanksgiving with their family in Mississippi.
She's so nice.
Went to the football game and all that stuff. Yeah. And there have been others kind of sort of similar to that. Kelvin.
Yes.
Yeah. He's going to be so mad I didn't name him as a favorite.
Kelvin.
And his mom's probably going to be mad at me too. And I probably talk to her more than I talk to him now.
What's up, man? Hit me up.
I don't know. I mean, I know that I sort of have a reputation that gets passed, and guys come who have friends who have been here before, so they've heard of me or whatever. I start off like when I get a list of freshmen that are coming in from Coach Dallas, I make contact with them really quickly. Usually it's texting, so it's not super formal to start out with, so they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They get a sense of that I'm there for them. I don't judge them.
Yeah.
I know that mistakes happen. I know they're going to do things that they shouldn't do. We all have done things we shouldn't do. I guess I don't know exactly what it is, but you'd have to ask them, I guess.
I just thought of this question, and I think this will be helpful to a lot of athletes. And you've seen a lot of great athletes come through here. Some have went to the NFL. A lot have went to the NFL. What is your opinion? Because I feel like I've talked about him, and it almost falls on dead ears because people don't really understand it. What is your opinion of the separation of Alvin from, I guess, other people? Like, what was the thing that separated him that you think got him to where he's at, from your perspective?
From my perspective?
Yeah.
This was a business stop on his journey. Like this was, he knew what his purpose was when he came here. He did that and left. He didn't spend a lot of time. I mean, I don't know everything he did outside of school and football, but as far as I know, he didn't spend a lot of time screwing around, partying and that kind of stuff. Like, he was here for one reason, and that was his main thing for being here. He didn't get distracted. Now, did he do everything the way he should have done it exactly when he was here? No. He was a kid. You know, I know that I had conversations with him about, if you don't do this differently in this class or whatever, you're not going to be done in December and get to where you want to go next. And then he would change what he needed to do. So I think that's what set him apart, was that he had he knew his purpose, the purpose of being here in his overall long-term goal. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think sets him out? I mean, you know him better.
I think that, he knew what he wanted, and he had tunnel vision, and like the simple temptations of the average college lifestyle.
Yes.
He didn't participate. And if he did,
nobody knew about it.
0%.
Yeah.
I've never, to this day, I've never seen him drink. I've never seen him smoke.
Yeah.
So, hypothetically, let's say he did.
Yeah.
He probably did it by himself, or he, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or did it with people who weren't going to share that information.
I think
I know he spent a lot of his time with Tyler when he was here.
Yeah.
So, and Tyler was kind of
Tyler's the same way, yeah.
So I think that's what makes him different from everyone.
It was like really, like when you say business, like it was really business because
it was.
To this day it's business.
Well,
like
the one thing that sticks out in my mind about he knew why he was here and what he was supposed to do for himself here to get on was he had to take the math placement test.
Yeah.
The first time he took it, he placed in basic algebra. I was like, this means you have 3 math classes to take. You're not graduating before May because he got enrolled late in the spring, so I couldn't put him in a math. So he took it again and placed in college algebra. Now we have 1 math class to take. Like, I know that, like, that was to me, like, what he didn't realize what a big deal it was. So he just did it because I had asked him to do it or he needed to do it. But when I told him the purpose of it,
it makes difference.
He handled it.
One of the most amazing brain like things he did. So when I interviewed him, we go to his house. I can't describe it. Like, and this is like house.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd.
Yeah.
This is like house 1C.
Right.
Okay. And then he was like, hey, let me show you something. And we go upstairs and he has this board. It's a whiteboard, it's about the size of that. And it's like, he like showed me, he was like, yeah, this is what I do all day. I said, what? He had his whole like year,
planned
next months, 6 months planned out. I'm gonna do this idea. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And it was like a beautiful mind. You know how it was like a beautiful mind on a whiteboard. And I'm like, everybody thinks this guy just runs outside zone and catches screen passes.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to discount what anybody knows about Alvin, but I don't know if people really realize how intelligent he is.
Super intelligent.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
I could tell that in the, at JUCO.
Yeah. But now he has the resources to put behind what he's formulating.
Yeah. And you can tell, I mean, if you really pay attention to the way that he plays football, you can tell that too.
Yeah. Because he's
I mean, nobody reads a field like he does. It's crazy.
That's just something we, to give to those guys. And I
talk about that, I talk about all of these things with new students, trying to help them understand how important it is. And I show them, of course, names blacked out or whatever, transcripts of guys who should have been at a D1 Power 5 at the time program, but because their transcript looks like this, they ended up at a, small, the SEC school wasn't going to take them because they couldn't trust that they wouldn't be an eligibility issue, or they ended up at a D2 or an NAIA school because, which was great for those schools.
No doubt.
But they couldn't pass their classes, or it took them forever to get recruited because they didn't, or, they couldn't go on a visit because their GPA wasn't high enough, whatever it might be.
I like to ask this to a lot of people. So like when guys go to at 4-year university and you go see them play because you still keep in contact.
Yeah.
What's the best environment you've been in at a 4-year?
The best environment. I mean, we went.
Like my brother said, Death Valley is like crazy.
Yeah, so Avery and I went to the Egg Bowl 2 years ago, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. It was at Mississippi State, so we were in the visiting section or whatever. But that atmosphere was insane.
For real?
Yes. And I'm trying to think. I mean, I've been to several. Mm-hmm. The Ole Miss game that I've been to a couple Ole Miss games also. That atmosphere is really, really neat to be a part of. Also, it's almost like the bigger the name, the school, the bigger. I mean, they just put on like the tailgates and stuff, and the stuff before the games is crazy. Mm-hmm. I like any college football really, but that Egg Bowl, Avery, would you say that was pretty cool experience? That was the first D1 football game Avery'd been to was that big one. Now you've been to 2.
Last question. I know I said last question 20 minutes ago. Last question. Who's the most like freakish athlete from your perspective that you've seen come here? They may not have been like went on or whatever, like they made, like whether they made it or not.
I think I'm
like
gonna say
who's like
Daniel
impressive?
Brown.
I don't know him.
He played D end. He's at Illinois. Monster. Yeah, played a couple years ago for us. And he's not like super tall. Maybe not even like a traditional D end type of look, but he's a freak. He's a freak. I mean, we've had a lot. But when just thinking like recently, and a name that still comes up, like people still bring him up. Coaches will mention him and that kind of stuff. He's check him out. Daniel Brown plays for Illinois. Yeah.
I think
Look his film, Hutch film up.
Look his okay.
Yeah.
I would say Ledbetter's one.
Well, Ledbetter for sure. That's going way back. But yeah.
The guy we talked about earlier, the receiver.
Yes. Yeah. And Jeremiah can still do a backflip. Still.
At like 260, 300.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And how old is he? I mean.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be year.
So that was like 2014.
He's in near 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 2014, and then he went to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 8, 9, something like that. And I'm pretty sure I saw him do a backflip this past season. if not this season, the season before. And thinking, oh my God, like, that's crazy that you could still do that.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you. I appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah.
We started some controversy.
Yes, I'm going to be in big trouble.
We started some controversy.
I'm going to be in big trouble.
And I feel good about it. But I appreciate you and Avery coming by, and it really means a lot. And I hope you keep doing what you're doing and helping the kids and feeling appreciated by everything that you've done with everybody, because you mean a lot to the teams, the school, the community, and like we appreciate you.
Thank you. I have no plans of going anywhere else right now. Something really great is going to have to come up. I really enjoy this job, so
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. Another episode of Life and Times in Tub City with Erin Ellis. Thanks.